We shall look at why inspection process is still not effective to catch a defect, even though the same part has undergone a few times of the same inspection process. This has caused a lot of frustration for both customers and suppliers. As we know, inspection process is still a necessity, and the fastest way is to protect customers from receiving a reject. It is actually a check and balance process in a manufacturing line. Hello, I'm Evelyn. Do subscribe to my channel to get notified on the future episode as well. Almost all manufacturers will have an inspection somewhere in the manufacturing process or the last step to inspect the final products before it is been sent to the customers. Sometimes a manufacturers will even set up a few final inspection stations inspecting the same items over and over again for a few times. However, there are many cases where a manufacturers still receive a lot of customers' complaint despite of putting in 2 to 300% of inspection in the manufacturing line. We shall look at the reasons why inspection process is not effective, as it is important to understand why they are not effective before further action can be taken. The top reason would be there is no alignment with the customers on their requirement. Most of the manufacturers only inspect parts that is defined according to their drawing or specification given by designers. However, some of the designers does not really understand the customer's requirement well and how they use the part. There are cases where there are no inspection criteria given, and the criteria are actually established by the manufacturing or even quality engineers. Therefore, they are in their own world thinking what is right for the customers, and no data gathered or initiative taken to check on how customers inspect the part. The second reason is no proper inspection, standard operating procedure, or no clear inspection criteria. From my experience of auditing many suppliers' inspection process, I found that most of the suppliers does not give the importance on the inspection SOP, and they only hire someone to look at the parts and use the judgment that is passed down by some engineer to do the inspection. Therefore, each of these inspectors will have their own call on what is right or what is accept, what is reject, especially for those marginal failures. And it is not aligned to the customers as per the previous reasons. The best part is that the inspector will even come up with their own judgment, and there's no standardization at all. For some which have SOP or work instruction, there's not very clear inspection criteria to define what is accept and what's reject. And some photos in the work instruction has very poor resolution, and I could not even see what is really the acceptance or the differences between the accept and the reject criteria. The third reason, which is also quite common, would be the wrong placement of an inspection station. There is certain parts that you have assembled with the printed circuit board inside with the cable routings and everything, and there was not much stress on the inspection whether the parts are placed correctly, the cables are routed correctly, and after that, the inspection only occurs after the parts has been enclosed. So what you can see is just the external part itself and all the internal items of whether the parts are aligned properly, seated properly, cables routed accordingly. You will not be able to see those things. And actually, most of the time, these are the things or the small things that causes a reject. And even though maybe you can say that there's some functional tests, however, sometimes functional tests are not very useful or do not have coverage on a certain items or a certain cables or a certain component in a printed circuit board. Therefore, you will have missed out these important parts and everything is hidden under the cover, and you will not be able to test it out sometimes because your equipment could not or does not have the same type of functionality as how your customers will use your part. So therefore, it's very important to ensure that there is a inspection station at certain critical parts after it has been assembled as on at the sub-assembly site. Those are the three top reasons why a manual inspection is not effective based on my observation of working with over hundreds of suppliers globally. You can use those reasons that I've shared with you as a guideline to audit your supplier's manufacturing line if you're a supplier quality management professional, or you can look at if your own manufacturing line have the same kind of problem which you can use to make it better and ensure that you do not have the same problem that I have described. It will have make your customer a happy customer if you do so. Do watch out for my future video on the guideline to set up an effective manual inspection, and do leave a comment if you have any other gaps that you have identified for an ineffective inspection, manual inspection. I would appreciate a subscription to this channel and do share this video. Bye, and I hope to see you in my future video.